Do you know the story of Harry Hoxsey? In the 1940s, the AMA had him arrested over 100 times and eventually had his right to do business revoked by the federal government. What business was he running to garner all of that hostility? He claimed to have a medicine that was safe and effective for cancer. They said he was a quack and a danger to society. They said he delayed necessary and scientific medical care, including mustard gas, the first version of chemo, radiation, and radical surgery that resulted in a 30% 5-year survival rate. Listen to his story and decide for yourself who is a danger to society. It all started when Harry was a boy. His grandpa passed the farm to Harry's dad, along with a secret formula for tumors in the livestock, discovered when a favorite horse went out to pasture with a tumor on its hip. Grandpa watched as the horse ate some unusual weeds at the forest edge, plants horses usually ignore, and his tumor went away. Grandpa made a medicine from those weeds, and if any of the livestock got tumors, he would give them the medicine, and usually they would heal. When Harry's dad ran the farm, a few times their family friends had cancer, and with no hope for healing, he offered their horse medicine. Young Harry watched their friends heal, tumors shrink, and health return. When Harry inherited the formula, he wanted to help more people with cancer, which was called the single most important cause of death in the 40s. He gave the medicine to more people with cancer and was so excited by the results that he opened a business to treat cancer using his herbs, along with dietary changes and vitamin and mineral supplements. The patients must have been pleased with their results because word of mouth grew his business in Dallas to draw from all over the country. He attracted the attention of Mildred Nelson's mother. Mildred was a nurse, and Mom had developed uterine cancer. She took radiation treatments until the doctor said, "There's nothing left we can do." But Mom wasn't ready to give up. She told Mildred, "I'm going to Dallas to see the cancer doctor. Are you coming with?" Nurse Mildred discouraged Mom from trying this quack, but Mom's mind was made up. Mildred thought, well, at least I can be there to soothe her disappointment. But Mom wasn't disappointed. She got stronger and stronger, and in an interview years later, she commented on how she outlived the doctor who gave her radiation. Nurse Mildred was amazed and moved. Her life was dedicated to caring for the sick, and what she just saw, she could barely believe with her own eyes. She went to work for Harry and grew their business to 17 locations across the United States. She took care of patients while Harry was dragged through court and jail, where patients would gather in a show of support. She took care of patients when the FDA began their attack, while Harry presented hundreds of case studies in federal court. They eventually found a way to stop him, a label violation, and locked down his clinics. The last door was padlocked in 1960. In over 30 years, seeing 10,000 patients a year just in their main Dallas office, the AMA and the FDA could not get one patient to testify against Harry, but they lined up to testify for him, probably the only reason he survived 30 years. At first, the AMA claimed that there was no value to his medicine, just quackery. Then when the patients spoke up, they claimed that they were improperly diagnosed or healed on the placebo effect, which instead of trying to harness the power of positive thinking, they discarded as weak-minded. They said he was in it for the money, when in fact, he never turned a patient away regardless of their ability to pay. They ridiculed and vilified Harry in the media, calling him a ghoul feasting on the dying. And while all that was reported in the daily paper, Mildred kept taking care of patients. When they locked the doors for his label violation, Mildred moved the clinic to Tijuana, Mexico, where she cared for patients until her dying day and made sure there was a caretaking woman in charge to keep their mission alive. Yes, still alive in 2022. That's all the evidence I need. You don't work until your dying day for money. That is passion. A mission to serve. They never really claimed it was harmful, so why do you think the AMA and the FDA were so determined to shut him down? Can you follow the money to the current $100 billion per year cancer industry? And with thousands of patients testifying to their successful treatment, clearly it was not about patient outcomes. I've used Harry's formula. The recipe is now available on the internet for anyone to see. Search yourself. You'll find two distinct perspectives. Those who thought he was a great hero and healer, and the perspective of the AMA. He's a money-grubbing quack, despite the overwhelming opinion of those who tried it for themselves. In my experience, my patients and I were quite pleased with the outcomes. One guy was at that point. There's nothing more we can do. They were considering some experimental treatment when he heard my name. That was 15 years ago. I checked in with him a few years ago, and yep, he's still doing great. We've used Harry's medicine alongside chemo and radiation, and we were blown away. I'd read that these herbs significantly reduce the side effects of chemo and radiation, and wow, she even grew her hair back while on chemo. Another lady opted out of another round of chemo after the initial result was that her cancer was worse. I don't remember how she heard about me, but she had to drive 2 hours each way to come to my clinic. Fortunately, by her 3rd month, she was cancer-free. I thought it was kind of funny. She said, "You know, the weird thing is, I feel really good." No, that's how healing should feel. What's weird is using anything that makes you feel so bad in an effort to find healing.